I don't know, you could probably throw Larxene pretty hard, and I think she'd be into it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Sora, like, halfway through your fight with her, I'm pretty sure she's just gonna start, like stripping and be like, okay, we're doing this.
What the fuck?
We're doing this.
Yeah, she made a whole fucking labyrinth out of a single wall of ice.
Okay, I'm with Steve on this. This is some horse shit.
You see, because it's mineral water.
Shut the actual fuck up.
Oh my god, this is gonna be like a Dark Souls shortcut. There's gonna be like an ice elevator here that I'm gonna have to go up and down.
No. That's where the elevator, after you get to the end of this, takes you back down here.
Yeah, shortcut, exactly.
I don't think it ever takes you back up, though.
It does.
It can.
Okay.
Anyways, about guides being assholes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Final Fantasy IV is my favorite Final Fantasy game. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
As it should. Kane is amazing, and so is Cecil.
And Rydia. Rydia is bae. And I mean adult Rydia, you fucks.
I mean, no one can ever, approach the majesty and wonder that is Butts Clouser.
He's pretty good. I always get shit because I say I think Rydia is my favorite character and I think she's gorgeous and awesome. And everyone's like, the 5-year-old? I'm like, no, the 20-year-old who ages in the hyperbolic time chamber, you idiot. Anyways, 4 is a really good game, and the first time I actually played all the way through was on the Nintendo DS version, which I think is actually the best version of that game. It has a Steam version now, which if you patch it, it has a frame rate problem you can patch out, I've heard. And I really like it. It's got good cutscenes. It's got good acting. I was actually, when that game came out, I'm like, if they did Final Fantasy VII in this style, it would be great.
I actually, not to derail your story, but I like the way that thing did the leaving party members thing, where if you give them, like, certain, like, you could basically, like, take some of their commands and put them on other people.
Yeah, like weird materia things.
Yeah, and if you did certain combinations of them, you got stronger commands.
Because the advanced version had a special dungeon where if you complete it, you could put any existing character in the game, including Polum and Porum, which didn't make any sense, but fuck it, whatever.
Isn't it Palom and Polum?
What?
It's Palom and Polum.
You could just hit that.
I am stronger than you when it comes to
I decided to use
nerdery.
fire to solve my problem.
Okay, so back to your story.
Back to my story. So I really like this game, and like I said, I played on that, which wasn't. It is the main problem with that is also that some of the stuff is tied to friend codes. Which is why I will never play the DS version of 3 again. Because holy shit, you couldn't get anything in that game if you didn't have friend codes out the ass.
Yep, and now you can't get anything because the friend codes don't work.
I wonder, it also has a Steam version, so I wonder how they fixed that.
No idea.
If they did it all.
But
the point is, this was a few years after the game had come out, and I bought a used copy in... oh yeah, here we go!
Oh shit!
I've been trying... That's why I haven't been healing myself the entire time.
Yeah, this was the thing last session that I was talking about that I hope happens while we're on screen because it's fucking great.
Yep, so we have rage form now.
So if Sora gets below a certain HP threshold for too long, he just gets really pissed off and goes ham on people.
Oh yeah, it's great too.
Oh, yeah, so it's basically like fucking teleports.
I'm sure I'm not getting any experience from this, but fuck it, who cares?
You're still getting the experience pop
oh, because that was the thing in anti-form is anti-form you wouldn't get experience from enemies.
Yeah. No, you're getting...
Okay, cool.
You're getting
Oh
some.
yeah, I see it over there.
Yeah, anti-form is more like, it was more of a thing you could actually abuse, though.
Yeah. So, what is something about Final Fantasy IV like you get distracted from? I got a few years after the game came out, I got it on used, and I was enjoying the hell of it, but I really wanted to 100%, like, not 100% it, but, like, get the good shit. Can I get up? Nope, not yet. I tried to, I went online. This is also when I had a penchant of going to my school's computer lab and printing out entire walkthrough guides.
Yeah, as you do.
I got yelled at because I did one for Majora's Mask that was like 70 pages.
Christ.
Because I did it was the entire thing, including like the glossary and where to find all the gold Skulltulas and like everything.
Jesus.
Use that public school
I did
link.
the same for Final Fantasy IV. I also did the same for Golden Sun, where all the Djinn locations were. Because you needed to get all the Djinns. So I got the Final Fantasy IV guide, and I'm going through it, and it's like, okay, And this is why I always like fan guides instead of official guides. It'll tell you when you need to do specific shit. It's like, hey, you're at a level now where it would be a really good idea to go get this thing. And I'm like, that's a great idea, guide. So,
That's
it gets...
that treasure chest you couldn't get, by the way.
I was assuming that's what it was. So I go there, and I'm like, near the end of the game, it goes, this is your last chance to get the final dungeons where all the best weapons are. And I'm like, fuck yes. So it leads me through all the stuff, and it's like you have to beat like the secret bosses, and you get like Excalibur, Masamune, and like I think you get like I want to say Gungnir or some lance. You know, you get some really good lance.
For Kane.
For Kane,
The best
right.
character.
Yeah. No, Kane's fucking Kane. You get in that game. We were talking about that. You give him like the cry, and then make him jump, and it's like the best fucking combination in the game.
He's the best character.
Yeah, he's
I wasn't
awesome.
being an asshole.
No, I was agreeing with you, and I was just giving evidence of it.
Yep, he's the second best Dragoon character they ever made.
After the rat lady from 9?
No, I'm talking about Estinian from 14. Estinian's fucking baller.
I don't even know anything about 14.
Because you're not cool.
So, I go through all of this, and I get down to the end of it, and I'm like, alright, dude, I got the weapons, and I go to equip them, and they're all worse than the actual weapons I have. And I'm like, what? And I look at the guide, and it's like, yeah, don't equip these or anything, but you're gonna need them for the final battle. And I'm like, what? Where is this going? So I go through the entire rest of the like the lunar dungeon and everything. I get to the last boss. I'm facing off against Zeromus. Spoiler alert: Zeromus is the last battle of.
Spoiler alert for Final Fantasy IV.
Yeah, Final Fantasy foe.
AKA Final Fantasy II if you're really old.
Yeah, if you're a nerd.
Nerd.
And I get to the last boss. It's like I'm like, okay, I want to know what the strategy is. Because I'm a little twerp, I don't care to try and beat bosses first before I try to relive them. Do I need to go back up?
Yes,
Okay.
because you came from the bottom.
Okay.
You started from the
Wait,
bottom,
no,
now you're here.
Did I not go here? Where am I going?
Yeah, you hadn't gone in here yet.
Oh, okay, good. This is gonna be a bitch to explore.
Yep.
I'm gonna need a guide video.
It's a labyrinth for a reason.
Nobodies!
You have a map.
Oh, these must be Larxine's nobodies.
Yep. They're ninjas.
Ooh, that makes perfect sense.
That does. I appreciate that.
Also, there you go. There's another Final Fantasy named class for you.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
true. Ninjas. So I get to the final boss. I'm looking at the tactics, and I go, "What is the strategy for this?" And literally, like the first sentence of the guide for the boss is "throw everything." I'm like, what? It's like, yes, if you have Edge throw all of those super high level, ultra rare items, they inflict the most damage in the game. So the basic last battle of Final Fantasy IV, if you're doing it right, I have no idea what just happened,
Killed the
killed
last
an enemy.
is having a ninja take Excalibur from its sheath and fucking
Just yeet.
just throw that bastard at the goddamn final boss. And it's like, I'm just imagining it's like that scene at the end of Chicken Run, where they're crying and handing the eggs to her, and she's putting them in the launcher, and it's like Cecil or me as the player handing all of these weapons to Edge, and he's just like,
God.
it worked.
That's some fucking dumb bullshit,
Credit
and I
where it's-
love you, Final
hilarious.
Fantasy.
Credit where it's due, it worked. And it just always stuck with me as my favorite moment in walkthrough history of, you made me go and get all the hidden weapons so that I could throw them at the last boss.
God damn it. That's actually great.
It's always gonna be my favorite. Whoa! Whoa! Thank you for sharing.
Oopsie doodles.
I feel good now. I feel good talking about that story again.
Yeah.
I get very few times to actually talk about that, so.
Well, that's what you have this whole platform
Yeah,
for.
no,
for
totally.
Telling like weird ass stories. That's why I was so excited to come over today, so I could tell you guys the story of Peter.
And we are better for the experience.
We do appreciate it, yes.
Oh, I appreciate you guys too. It's very nice.
I feel as though Peter has reached through time and space
and touched us
to many years back before I even met you, and just began nudging events solely so that I would meet you and learn of his greatness.
Oh, if I could blush, I'd tell you you're making me blush, but you're making me smile very much.
I'm just relaxing after everything.
Yeah.
After the experience we've gone through, it's just like
Finally gotten it out of there.
yeah. No, it's like I feel like I've gone on a true journey, and now I'm.
A weight is just off of your shoulders.
Oh yes.
Having told this Final Fantasy.
Having told the Final Fantasy story once again.
You know what's a little odd now that I think about it, though?
What's that?
Okay, so, like, there's never been a game where in the Kingdom Hearts series where you just, like, straight up fight all of Organization 13 for, like, story reasons. Because, like, in 2,
Yeah.
if you wanted to fight the older ones that got, kicked their ass kicked in Castle Oblivion, you had to do the data bullshit.
Which I never ended up doing because I didn't really care to.
Right, because there was also a long time, like, we didn't know what, like, Zexion's weapon actually was.
A book.
Because he never uses it in the game.
Yeah, because I think he, like, just
He gets-
goes away.
Oh no, because in Chain of Memories he gets eaten by Data Riku.
Yeah.
Yeah, Data Riku just killed him.
Although they did they not give him a fight in Chain of Memories?
I don't know if they did.
I don't know. I haven't played through Rechain of
Yeah, I haven't played through
Memories.
Rechain because
I never played through Riku's story
I finished Chain.
because I did not care for his controls once I got to them.
I just.
I mean, I
playing
found it
character
annoying
Chain
that you
of
couldn't
Memories.
customize your own deck. Because, like,
I didn't mind that part of his story, although people who say that his story should have come first so you would get used to that and then be able to make your own decks later. I thought that was an interesting idea that probably would have been good to explore.
it's workable, but I kind of like the idea of it being like, this is, like, challenge mode later.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that Riku is guaranteed to get the boss cards.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
true too.
But yeah, so, like, it's going to be interesting in this game to see, like, how many of them we actually fight. Because, like, Larxene was one we only fought in Memories. We never fought her for realsy reals.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, you totally fight her in Chain of Memories.
No, yeah, you fight her in Chain of Memories, but not in 2.
Oh, okay. You mean like in an actual...
In an actual, like, non-Chain of Memories fight-based game.
Okay.
Like, again, you never fight her for realsy rules. The same way you never fight, Leaxius or Zexion.
Yeah, that would be
or
interesting.
Vexen or no, you do fight Axelin too, but you never fight like Vexen. I feel like it's one of Marluxia. So
How
yeah,
could you forget your husband?
Seriously.
I'm sorry. It's just sometimes when he's finished and he's done, I'm just in a coma.
When he's in full bloom.
Oh yes.
Could you imagine if he was voiced by Steve Bloom?
Christ.
Yes.
I think you can only make Ryan so erect.
I mean, it's the best person he could be voiced by.
I feel like I was supposed to do this.
You were. That's
Good.
how you progress.
You did it.
I'm glad.
A thing was done.
Also, on the subject of voice actors, it's better than him being voiced by Vic Mignogna.
Yeah.
Well, anything is better than that.
Actually, there was a new thing that came out today. Not to
totally, date this too hard.
To date us too hard, but like there was a new thing that came out today that basically implied that like he's been doing shit like this since literally like the year or before I was born.
Oh yeah, no, like I've heard a lot of shit about him like
And honestly,
doing this.
I think that is one of the things I'm kind of most ashamed of from like a while ago, is that like when I was younger and dumber, I kind of was like, it's nothing. A lot of this is just kind of overblown, kind of like, made up shit. And it was honestly absolutely wrong of me. It was the worst attitude to take on that.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that he's kind of getting his comeuppance for it now.
Yeah, I will say I was kind of confused not too long ago because a friend of my mom's, who's apparently like a huge nerd, met him at a con once, and apparently he was like really nice to her and her kid.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that's good to hear that he's not a huge asshole. And now it's like, no, he's probably was actually a huge asshole.
Yeah, no,
And it's
been
just that
stated
because
there's
he had no reason to be an asshole to them in particular.
Well, yeah, because like the story that came out was basically like, because this was before he was even in voice acting. This was when he was working in like doing Christian music for a local church.
I'm sorry, what?
No,
Oh yeah, no, Vic Mignogna is super huge into like Christian music. He has like fucking Christian records and everything.
I buy it. I'm not purchased the.
Yeah, no,
things,
I
but
get what you mean.
Yeah.
But like, so he was just doing like production at a local church and a couple of they know they're Naruto running, right?
Oh, they're ninjas. Yes.
So
Is there any other way to run if you're a ninja?
yes,
No.
normally. So yeah, apparently like there was a choir that the local school had kind of brought him on as like a consultant for them because he knew stuff about music. And,
Oh no.
and all that. And
Don't
apparently
like
like
this.
Yeah, I do not
yeah,
like where
there was
this is going.
there was a young girl who he kind of was mentoring, air quotes, and like eventually like she talked about how when he was around, he always seemed like this nice guy. He was always doing
I need to check
like
my abilities out.
he was always like really warm and friendly, and it felt like he was really trying to do his best to make her do well at this, right? Mm-hmm. And then after the production ended, he started being near her. Like he started going to her summer job and talking to her and just talking to her more and more outside of school. And again, he's in like his 20s at this point.
Yeah, that's not great.
So, yeah. And eventually he got her to come over to his house for, he basically was like, I want you to listen to this. Like, basically he was like, I want you to listen to this new song I've written. And then he basically started trying to put the moves on her. And apparently, even then, it was kind of well known around people that he was like that. Because apparently, like, his roommate had a fight with him over it. Cause, like, his roommate came out, like, sorry. He was like, dude, how old is she? And then, like, just got so pissed at him, he just left.
Oof.
Yeah, so, I mean, not to get too heavy on it, but, like, I'm at the point now where, like,
Nothing surprises you.
No, it was more like the case of, like, I can definitely see a version of myself who was younger who was like, no, they shouldn't like recast people based on this stuff. But like if they end up like deciding, you know what, if we ever do anything else Full Metal Alchemist related, like another like movie or whatever comes out and they recast him, do it. Full stop. Like Edward Elric should be someone else. It's gonna sound weird, but I do not care.
I would, you know what? Here's the thing with on that particular note. I there might have been a time where I also would have been like, divorce the person from the voice. Mm-hmm. But now that we're in a post James Gunn incident world,
Yeah.
I'm now officially like, if something like this is gonna happen over something like that, then by all means, every single instance where you can get rid of someone over something that's bad like this should be examined in full.
Yeah. I mean, like, in this case, yeah, it's just he's very much, if nothing else, he's a toxic figure.
I ain't
gonna
gonna be crying over his role in goddamn Ruby anytime soon. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
And that's even again, of course, this is coming from someone who hates that character.
Yeah. Like, again, obviously, like, if you fucking love, like, Edward Elric from Full Metal Alchemist, like, and you really enjoy, like, his dub of it, or you really like his version of, like, Tamaki from Ouran High School Host Club.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously...
Oh god, he didn't voice anyone in Fruits Basket, did he?
I think he did.
Oh jeez.
Like, obviously, there's going to be a case of, like, that kind of work previously, especially if, like, you already own it, or, like, it's on, like, a streaming service where you can't really control what exactly you're paying for, and you want to watch it. Like, go ahead. The damage in that form is already done.
I mean, I seriously considered only watching the Japanese dub of Broly movie until I remembered he just grunts and roars in it.
Yeah, he says, like, four words, and I get kind of a bit of a cathartic happiness out of the fact that it's well known that whenever he does Broly, like, it just destroys his voice.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like, don't cast him in any more stuff. Just get rid of him, because in this case,
Although
like,
I will repeat something I said at one point a while ago and not related to this. The one I think that you can still watch is Ghost Stories.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because the dub does not pull any punches on him.
Oh yeah, you know, I think there's also kind of an indication that he's not going to be around a lot longer. Is a lot of people a lot of famous people in the industry have been coming out in like, yeah, no, he's a problem.
Yeah.
Like Monica Rial was against him,
And it's one of the, and like, of course they really, there was no platform for them to come forward before.
Right, there was no platform, and it was kind of a career issue because, you know, back again when Vic was kind of a really important character for a lot of stuff. Like for example,
You're getting tons of abilities all of a sudden.
you are. I think it's partially because you're just leveling up and getting ability fights like one after another.
Yeah, totally.
But
I may have to start using those AP boosts.
yeah, like back when like Funimation's big thing was like the FMA dub and he was the main character. Like if you started doing stuff against him. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
You know, there was a very real chance. That's really pretty.
That was really pretty, Larksy. Why don't you
job.
go into like doing art? Also, why didn't you like make an exit to your stupid maze?
She was just bored.
I guess.
But yeah, like back then, it would have been like, you know, a possible career issue for that shit. Whereas now, you know, he's not the biggest name anymore.
Well, look at like, you know, people like Terry Crews coming forward about stuff where it's
Yeah,
like,
and again, also people are just, you know, they're not putting up with that as much anymore, which is absolutely great. We should not.
yeah. Watch.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk about why Vic Mignon is a piece of
This
shit.
episode will age incredibly well in one more year when Vic Mignogna announces he's going to run for president.
I mean, considering how things are now, he's gonna get it.
There's the joke. And that's what we call a punchline.
Yep. But not to...
Not to get on topic.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say not to keep harping on the Mignogna train anymore. But like, I think... I had a buddy of mine who actually went to Gen Con one year when he was there, and like even he had like a really shitty experience to where like he noticed there was some shit because
Yeah.
like he'd be really, let's say, selectively inclusive with his meet and greets.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the other part that's kind of like sad about this is that like he's one of those people that has like a bit of a cult of personality about him to where you know you've got the fan club that calls themselves like the Risen Bull Rangers. That
Is Rimble? That's a thing in FMA, isn't it?
yeah. That's the name of the world.
Oh,
Or the
right.
country. Or Amestris is the name of the country. Risen Bull is the name of the city. But yeah, they basically they are his fan club, and they basically defend him from a lot of stuff. And I mean, a lot of them have been kind of like, you know, they're really, really against all the stuff that's been coming out. Because again, it's pretty anti-Vic because I mean, you can't really be pro-Vic when you hear all the shit he's done.
Yeah.
You got healed in midair. That's
I
kind of
mean,
hilarious.
and I mean, to be fair, if it was one experience to go off of,
right. I mean,
it would be one thing, because even I've had I remember when one of the friends I follow said he had a real bad experience with like Linkara in a con appearance.
right. I mean, there's legitimate points where
go
you
back, you fuck.
where like there could just be a bad experience with a person.
Yeah.
But like a lot of it is not the kind of stuff you hear from what happened there.
Ah, it's this. That's fucking cool.
It is cool.
I want to do oh, not what I wanted. I want to do a shorter one and see what happens. Yep. Okay, big homing lasers. Cool.
Yeah. Like there's a differentiation between like I had a weird thing or some like an awkward moment happened, and this history of abusive and you know problematic behavior. Because like I could see like, you know, because like for example, I think you've told me this story before. It's like Linkara was basically like really rude to a friend of yours.
Yeah, and it turned out later he actually gave him a direct email reply where he apologized and said that this was back during he was in the middle of filming, like I think he was filming a crossover at the con. He was in the middle of filming a big part of his storyline.
Right.
And he'd also just had some bad experiences with people at the con, and he was really on edge, and he apologized, and it's like that, you know, that alone, hey, the fact that someone apologized well for doing a thing. I need to get back up here. Is
Yeah.
like, hey, guess what? That's cool. God, Sora, you clumsy shit.
I see it. Yeah.
There we go.
But yeah, like I mean, there's a difference between I had a bad day, I'm taking one down, I got a sad smile, just turn it around. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
And these 5 people have said you did the thing.
Right. Or like, I mean, it's way more than 5 at this point.
I know,
It's a
but,
huge number.
like-
But yeah, like, it's a big difference between, I had one bad day and, I did something, rude or awkward or whatever, or I misread the room. Not to be defensive of, horrible people, because horrible people will use those as excuses. We're like, oh,
yeah.
it was... But again, oftentimes you'll find, patterns with that.
I mean, look at Let's Players that get caught saying the thing.
Right.
And
Oh,
it's
you mean the gamer word?
The gamer word.
That was the worst.
I'm assuming this is the one that'll
That
take me
takes you
back to the
down,
bottom.
yeah.
Yeah, so
That's the way out.
that's the way out.
That was the worst tweet I think I've seen in a long
Also
time.
prepared to turn the volume down.
Are we finally gonna get something so we can stop talking about goddamn Vic Mignogna?
Yes.
I'll be honest, like, I didn't have that big a problem talking about that whole conversation, but there was nothing happening.
Yeah, we were just running through a labyrinth fighting monsters.
Yeah.
There was really nothing happening there.
There wasn't.
We're getting to a point where now we can focus on the game.
There wasn't Beck's girl Larxene there to distract us.
Yeah, I know.
Die.
With her best boobs.
See her?
I mean,
Think she might have gone up.
You
Listen.
just walk up and she's like, lightning nips! Blew out the microphone on that one.
You
Yeah,
did.
you did.
Okay, we're back to walking.
Yep. Up the mountain we go. I said up.
No, shut up. There's a save point over here.
yeah, there's a save point over there.
I like to imagine that. Actually, this kind of fits because of her little daggers. That must mean that Larxene is the Queen of Blades, and she mazed us.
Christ.
Obviously she's from the anime Queen's Blade,
Oh.
which was then adapted into the really weird MMO Queen's Blade.
You're going down.
Oh, really? Oh, I am. You're
I said
right.
up.
No, shut up, though.
Listen, Steve, it's fine. You can't get down from a mountain. You get down from a duck.
He said it.
I heard that joke on an episode of Rupert when I was 7 and did not understand it for years.
Oh, I said that. I found that one on a Laffy Taffy roller in rapper in a speech competition once, and it was choir because we were preparing for fucking All-State or whatever state competition choir thing,
Right.
and I get on a Laffy Taffy roller, and I read it, and I was like, oh my god, it's hilarious, and I said it out loud, and I was the only one who understood it.
Yeah. I've said that to kids a couple times in my classes, and none of them ever get it.
Because no one really thinks about that. Like,
Yeah.
in all honesty, you never think, oh, the down is that fluff that you get off of ducks.
Right.
Everyone just
Unless
cares
you're
about duck penises.
unless you're an adult and you're buying like pillows and you're like, oh, I can only have the finest goose down for my dick pillow.
You say that, okay, we're laughing, but people specifically buy pillows to shove in their dick. Like to put between their legs because it's comfortable.
I know.
Yeah.
I do that.
It like separates it like evens out
It
your
lifts and
hips.
separates
Yes.
your testicles.
It also like
You have to
evens
fluff-
out your hips, which actually helps me considering I have disjointed hips.
so much pot.
Wow, Steve, I did not know you had so much pot.
I do actually so much,
All the pot.
like all of it.
Donald is Strunther now.
My grandma drank my pot.